Hello, hello, hello. Just letting everyone into the room. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm very excited to be here with you. Just going to give it 30 seconds to allow for people to make their way into the room. Just a couple of housekeeping things before we get started. Feel free to utilize the chat if you're wanting to say anything, share anything. We also have Q&A open, so if you have questions, please pop it there and I will make sure that I answer all of the questions before we finish up today. So thank you so much for being here and let's get into it. Before we get into Profit First as a service for coaches, I want to know who you are. Tell me in the comments where you're from. I'd love to know where you're from and whether you're a coach or a consultant and what it is that you do. Feel free to share that. Who are you? Where are you from? Chartered accountant, Auckland, New Zealand. Awesome. Brisbane, speaking impact coach. Hi, Kat. Alpha. Brisbane, consultant, helping small business owners manage their mindset and cash flow. Love that. Awesome. Please do share. I love to know who I'm talking to. And just to let you know, for anyone that does not identify as a coach, this webinar is specifically for coaches. Absolutely, I'm sure you'll get a lot out of it as well. But we do have specific bookkeeper and accountant webinars as well, where we talk to those specific businesses. But today is very much around the coaching. So hi, Brett, New Zealand, looking to become a coach consultant. Love that. Bookkeeper, Bass Agent, Sydney, coaching consultants on exit planning and wealth. So important. Soul trader, holistic healer, body worker, spiritual mentor, coach. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, well, I'm going to dive straight in and I want to ask you a few questions. I want this to be interactive, so feel free to let me know what's going on for you in the chat. My first question is, how many of you have clients with cash flow issues? How many times as a coach or a consultant do you have conversations with people and they're just like, what are you telling me? I can see that. Just spoke to one now, all of them, absolutely. Yeah, it's a really big problem and it's one we need to change. Everyone. Yes. Okay. Well, we're talking about the same thing then, which is really good. Anyone here have clients that are unable to take action because they don't have the clarity of what they can afford or have other stresses keeping them stuck? There's another yep in the comments. Is this a big thing for you? Do you find big time? I can see that. Thank you. Stuck in overwhelm. Absolutely. And it always comes back to the money, doesn't it? Don't know what decisions to make as they can't see their numbers. Yes. Awesome. Not awesome that they're struggling, but awesome that we're all on the same page. And then my next question is, do any of you here specialize in a particular area as a coach, but notice that your clients keep coming back to their money? And that this could potentially be the missing piece of the puzzle when it comes to offering more support to your clients. I'd love to know that as well, because I speak to a number of coaches that specialize in sales and marketing, but it always comes back to money and money management. I can see there's a yes in there. Interesting question. I like to ask all the questions. Usually most issues boil down to this in some way. Completely agree. Predominantly work in the money space, mindset's often what holds them back, which is why this comes first on the work. I agree. And interestingly enough, and we will get to it, Profit First is all about behavior and mindset too. And who here really wants to help with the transformation? So you've either seen someone implement Profit First and what they've done for them, or have started yourself and are really starting to see what it can do for you and how it's proactive and future paced. I'd love to know if there's anyone in the room that has seen this or is experiencing that. Yeah, baby, all about the transformation. Yes, definitely. Great. And then who here actually wants to, I speak to so many coaches and they really care. And so who really wants to be able to support their clients in a meaningful way? And also decrease the failure rate of business using this methodology? 1000% yes. I love that. And be the go-to person for your clients. I know that was definitely something that I wanted. Well, if you're here with me today and you've answered yes to this, which I can see there's lots of yeses in the comments, so thank you for that. What I want to do is keep it super simple. I want to talk to you about what Profit First is, how it works, how you can integrate Profit First as a service offering as a coach, real life examples from PFPs, and how this can work for you, because these are the questions that we get time and time again. Now, before I go into that, I just want to take a few minutes to let you know who I am, because we may not know each other. And my name is Laura. I run multiple businesses. I'm a mum of 2. And my biggest thing is that I want to make an impact with my clients so that their business works for them rather than them working for it. So I'd love to know if that's also something that you experience. And I'm coming to you today from my experience in my own coaching and mentoring business, Laurel Kaslasi & Co., where our foundation is all about strategy, energy, and profit. And the foundation of everything we coach comes back to the money and comes back to empowering people to make the decisions to do it. So I'm not only going to share what Profit First is, I'm sharing my own experience, lived experience too. And I am also the CEO of Profit First Australia and New Zealand. And my role is to train Profit First professionals in Australia and New Zealand so that they can go out and help other people. So I really hope that what I share with you today helps a lot. Let's get into it. Profit First, what is it? And what are the main principles of Profit First? Let's have a look. So most of us know that when it comes to running a business, it's based on this broken formula of the general accepted accounting principles, which is sales minus expenses equals profit. And what this does is it leaves profit as an afterthought. And it also means that business owners are generally making decisions about their business from profit and losses and balance sheets that they don't understand, and hoping that if they make enough money and pay for the things that they think they need to make that money, they might have a profit afterwards. Yes, it leaves the profit as leftovers. And so this formula only allows us to focus on the numbers and ignores the human behavior around the numbers. Whereas the Profit First formula flips that around. And what we're saying is sales minus profit equals expenses. And what is this based on? This is based on the primacy effect. Who here is familiar with the primacy effect? I'd love to know in the comments. The primacy effect states that what you see or do first is what is the focus. And so in this formula, you can see that sales, because we all need to bring revenue in to do stuff with our money, but then profit, if that is our focus, whatever is left over is what we can do to pay for our expenses. And the word profit can be a bit funny for some people. So we do alternate that with purpose, because if you have a profitable business, you can also have more purpose with that money. It opens up the opportunity for business owners to allow for the creative thinking and the wealth creation. And so the primacy effect, I just want to do a little something with you. And that is, if I say to you, evil, hurt, neutral, kind, love, where's your focus? I'd love to know in the comments. Evil. Anyone else? Yeah, evil and hurt, that's the primacy effect. But if I say to you now, love, kind, neutral, hurt, evil, what's your focus? Love, love, love. That is the primacy effect. We are humans. This is human behavior. Whatever comes first or second, or the first thing that we see, is what we focus on. So this formula switch of saying that sales minus profit equals expenses isn't just about the numbers. It's about our mindset and our human behavior. And the biggest thing about Profit First is that we don't need to change habits. We need to leverage them. So who here actually checks their bank accounts and makes decisions off that? I'd love to know. I sure do. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. We are so similar. Yes, still, exactly. So I understand profit and loss. I understand balance sheets. Finance doesn't scare me, but I still make my decisions based on my bank accounts. It's my human behavior. And so what we're doing is that we are leveraging these habits rather than changing them. And so why is that? For a lot of you here, and I'd love to know how familiar you are with Profit First, Profit First is set up on multiple bank accounts. But the whole point of that isn't just to give money a purpose, it is to allow our natural behavior to happen. And this is based on another law, Parkinson's law. Who here is familiar with Parkinson's law? Parkinson's law states that whatever time we have available to us is how long it will take to complete something. And I am the worst when it comes to that. If I have a week to get something done, it's going to take me a week. Whereas if someone says to you, actually, I can have it in 24 hours, you somehow manage it. The same thing happens with our money. If you have one bank account with all of the money in there, you are going to spend it all because it's Parkinson's law. You have one thing, that one resource, you will utilize that. And so setting up the multiple bank accounts means that you have multiple resources and purposes around it. And it is all based on our human behavior. And so what it's really about is it's really about the portion size. So I'm a foodie and I'm going to use an analogy now that's all about food because I can't help myself. And I'd love to know your experience. I know when I go to the buffet, I eat all of the food that's there. I got to taste every little bit versus having things on small plates. I won't overeat. The same principle applies when it comes to the multiple bank accounts and splitting that out. And so based on that, allocation when it comes to our money is really important. And that really is that whatever income comes in onto our main plate. Yes, I'm keeping with the food analogy. And then from there, using the primacy effect in the Profit First formula, the first thing we're going to do is transfer it, 5%, and I'm using these percentages, I'll explain them in a minute, to profit. Because where we focus is where things grow. And then the second, to owner's pay. And why do we go to owner's pay as the second thing? Well, normally we work in our business and we do a lot. And we, at the beginning stages in particular, we wear a lot of hats. So therefore, our pay shouldn't be an afterthought. It should very much be something that we get consistently. And so that's the second allocation point. The third is then the tax. And I know that a number of you are probably going to question why it's 15%, and I will come back to that in a minute. And then the last allocation is to expenses, because again, utilizing our behavior, whatever we have left over is what we can have to run our business, rather than going, well, I need this, that shiny object's surely going to make a difference, or that subscription, yes, let's do that. It really is important, the allocation. And so what I've done here is with the percentages, this is based on a business from $0 to $250,000. There are different percentages for bigger businesses, but I'm utilizing this example today. And these are general percentages. And part of becoming a Profit First professional is really understanding how you can play with the percentages to really help a person get to their goals and fix their challenges. But it is on the basis that 5% of income at this level should be going to profit if you want to have a healthy business. And we're talking cash profit, not profit on your profit and loss. 50% of what you're doing, because generally the owner is working majority of the time in the business, goes to them. 15% of tax, and yes, our tax percentages are a lot higher, but this is 15% of total revenue, not our tax percentage on the profit. And then 30% of expenses. Obviously, there are some industries where this can change a little when it comes to percentages, but if you're aiming towards this, it makes a huge difference. And so this is actually what it looks like in your actual bank, online banking. How easy does that make it to log in and go, can I afford this thing? Or have I got enough money? Has the money come in that I was expecting? It is leveraging that behavior. The other thing that the multiple bank accounts and Profit First does is that it removes temptation. So I know personally that when I have a certain dollar figure sitting in a bank account, my brain goes and my main mindset goes, I've got enough there. I can use that and I'll make it back at some point in time. Do I ever? Not usually, because something else comes up. And so if you are like that or you have a client like that, then it allows you to set up other bank accounts in other banks and move money that isn't theirs. So I know that a lot of my clients either are scared of paying their BAS or not having enough money for tax. And so they accumulate quite a lot with a buffer, but having it sitting there in their bank account is kind of taunting them. And so you can move it. It allows for that. Other people love to see all of the money sitting there because it makes them feel safe. And so the great thing is that Profit First allows you to either remove the temptation or give that feeling of safeness for the type of client that you're working with. The other thing is, and a lot of people don't realize, is that with Profit First, it's really important to implement a rhythm. And what I mean by this, a lot of times, and where I see things go wrong, is that people have their money come in, they set up all their bank accounts, and they move the money every single day into all of the bank accounts, and they just do it as soon as money hits. What this does is actually create chaos for the brain. It also means that you don't have a rhythm. So if something isn't working in your business, you're not going to see it. The idea being that setting up a rhythm is really important for a few reasons. One, if it's weekly, fortnightly, or monthly, it's going to depend on your business. It is consistent. So it's either aligned with when you pay payroll or with a challenge that you might have. It might be paying back some debt, whatever it is, you can work it out to be able to know what rhythm you need to use. But the idea being that if that income didn't hit the income account and you're looking at it every week, then you can follow up that problem. Or there's not enough money sitting in the expenses account. So did I forget a bill, or is there actually a bigger problem with my business? The other thing it does is if you have lumpy income within your business where you might do big launches, or it might be a business that majority of your income comes in at certain times of the year and then it's really quiet, having a rhythm allows you to move the money around in a regular way based on how your business works. It just alleviates so much pain. And the other thing is, and I think I've probably mentioned this prior, is that it's actually flexible. So yes, we have the target allocation percentages, but depending on what your goals are, what your clients' goals are, what the challenges are, the things that you need to do with them, you can actually change stuff. You can move it around. You can separate your operating expenses to be, wages or marketing or whatever it is that they feel like they don't have clarity on or is a stressor. It's really, really flexible. And it's about working with the human. And the other thing is I just want to talk about, because a lot of people tend to go, yes, I'm implementing Profit First. And then they do all of the things and 10% profit and moving the money around all the time, when in actual fact, we start at a point and it's generally not our ideal. And so it's really important to roll out your Profit First. And as a Profit First professional, you learn exactly how to do that and know how to guide your clients to it. Now, the other thing that we need to talk about is the profit. So who here has a Profit First profit account? I'd love to know. But the idea of the profit account is, yes, we're focusing on growing that. Me, yes, yes, yes. Oh, you're my people. I love it. This is fantastic. And I'd love to know, after I tell you this, whether or not you're using it to the best of its ability. So the idea of the profit account is to accumulate money, and each quarter, there are certain things that happen. The first being the fun money. Not the pay to you as the owner, because that's different, but a distribution to you as a celebration. You've done it. You've got money sitting in your profit account. There should be 50% of that profit money going to you as the owner. These distributions we consider to be for big businesses and companies and that sort of thing. But realistically, we should be doing it at any stage. The other thing to consider and utilize the profit account for is for rainy day money. So that remaining 50% can be put into the other profit account, the profit hold account, and you can accumulate a buffer in your business of 3 to 6 months so that if the worst was to happen, you've got time. That is the other purpose of the profit account. And then the third, which most people don't realize, is that you can actually utilize this account to crush and get rid of debt very quickly. And so I know a lot of you are probably thinking, how? And I'm going to tell you. The biggest thing that happens is that we tend to just pay the minimum amounts on our debts. And that comes out of the operating expense account, those minimum repayments. But if debt is a priority for your client or it's something that's really stressing them out, what you want to do is then take, instead of, I love the offset account, instead of moving all of the money to the owner, you might decide, hey, even up to 99% of the profit account, you can put onto the debt. And using the debt snowball, people pay off things so quickly and it's very underutilized. And the other thing that I just wanted to mention is that the profit first methodology and implementation of it is simple to understand, but not always easy to execute because it requires us to make some decisions and go through hard points. And what I mean by that is it's quite common that if a person's challenged by things like debt or overspending, that there may be times where there isn't enough money in the accounts. That said, if they stick with it and they distribute and they adjust percentages with their profit first professional, it works. And so I want to share with you some of the things that profit first professionals have managed to do with their clients utilizing these general methods. And that is, business owners have gone from paying below minimum wage to their desired wage within 6 to 12 months of implementing profit first with a profit first professional. Others have increased their revenue by 50%. And the reason that happened isn't because we're always chasing the revenue, which is, again, another mindset that business owners have. What it did by the profit first professional doing a profit assessment was show them that their pricing was off, that with the money that was coming in and everything that they needed to pay themselves, run the business, pay tax, wasn't enough. And then looking at their offerings, making some tweaks there. Others have paid off $150,000 worth of debt within 18 months. Others have been able to travel for the first time with their family and then yearly from there. The biggest thing that we get reported, and we get emails all of the time from business owners that have either implemented themselves or worked with a profit first professional. And the main theme is, I know what money is available for me. I know what money is available to pay team or get support, and that has absolutely changed their world. Others have eliminated $80,000 worth of ATO debt within 12 months, and others are working less because they needed less revenue and were using their money better based on the percentages. So it really is a powerful methodology. Now, I want to talk to you about what profit first could actually look like for a coach. And the reason why I say have the word challenges here is that I find that these are the questions that I get asked all the time. People go, oh, yeah, but what if? And how much you can charge for it, how it fits into a coach's existing business, what it's like to actually get certified, learn something new, do all of the things, and of course, the return on investment. And so I'm going to talk about all of those things. And if you have any questions, don't forget to use the Q&A. I will be answering them. So I'm going to talk to you about how does it actually work for coaches. And so the first thing that I want to say is we have one finite resource, all of us, and that is time. And what generally happens is that when we're looking to really help our clients, we're looking to add another string in our bow, do new things, and the idea of something new and having a separate service is really, really stressful and time consuming. And I'm here today to show you the different ways that you can do this based on what you're already doing. So you don't have to be spending all of the time that you think you need to be spending on things. So the first being online courses. So we have a number of profit first professionals that either have a current course and then they put in profit first modules as part of their course once they get certified. Others create completely separate profit first courses. And the interesting thing about courses is, and Profit First, we think it's one thing until we learn about it. There can be the Profit First 101, then there's advanced strategies, there's the debt strategies, there's the pricing, the reverse engineering. There are so many different courses that you can be creating, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel because we have all of the resources for you. Who here does group coaching? I'd love to know if you do group coaching. Yes, I have found that every single thing that I do when it comes to coaching comes back to money and mindset. And that if I'm trying to coach someone to reach their goals or change from the state that they're in to where they want to be, they need to understand their money and how they interact with their money. And so Profit First fits in really beautifully if you're offering coaching in a group environment, from, you know, resources to Q&A to actually walking groups of people through things. It is a very easy thing to integrate into what you're already doing. Who here offers one-on-one coaching? I'd love to know that. Yep, yes, yes. All right. Most of you, by the looks of it. Well, how often are you talking about money with your clients at the moment if you're working on a one-on-one basis with them? Does it come up often? The great thing, all the time, snap to both of you. One of the things with integrating Profit First in your one-on-one coaching is that it actually gives you a framework utilizing their money to help them reach their goals so that they can see where they are, any gap or gain they could potentially create, and then what it looks like. And often it's easier than what we think. And so it also helps to reverse engineer what changes they might need to make. So an example being that a person might want to grow their revenue by X, but what does that require? It requires more team. And then to be able to have a conversation with them, for them to be able to work out exactly how much money they need to be putting aside using the Profit First methodology, using that assessment and framework, for them to know what they're working towards, not just a pie in the sky revenue goal that is so often spoken about online. It really helps them move out of that fight or flight when it comes to decisions in their business. And so it's a really nice integration point with one-on-one coaching. Now, this advisory meeting, you're probably wondering, okay, how does this apply? And the reason I've put this in here is that I actually know a number of coaches that act as advisors to a number of their clients. And it's not part of their one-on-one coaching. It's not part of their program. It's like a board of directors or an advisor to help the person move through life and business. And so Profit First and becoming a Profit First professional gives you another way to do this advisory meeting that helps the advice that you're giving, the brainstorming, the facilitation in conversation, real practical information as well. And we found that business owners are actually seeking this out. And so that's why I've put that in there. So food for thought. And then, of course, who here does workshops and masterclasses? Yes. Yep. Yep. Beautiful. Again, this fits into that. It can form part of a workshop. It could be standalone. And just to give you some examples, it's not come to my workshop or masterclass to learn about Profit First, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it's things like, you know, how to work out if you can afford to hire, or how much ad spend or marketing money can you actually afford as part of your business? What if that was easy? Or if you're finding within your ideal clients that there's resistance to buying certain things because they don't have the money, showing them how they can work with you using the Profit First methodology really works. And I'd love to know who here loves speaking or would like to do more speaking on stage, on podcasts, online, in person. Yes, I love speaking. Yes, yes. Okay, I do already. Beautiful. That's fantastic. What I have found personally and for other Profit First professionals is the ability to share Profit First in other networks, on podcasts, on stage, really are endless. It's something that we're constantly seeing requests for. People want to learn about it. People want ease when it comes to their money. And I've seen a lot of Profit First professionals see an increase in their speaking opportunities by being able to talk to this and show people an easier way. The other interesting thing to note is that businesses are actually looking for coaches. There's a thought that we have to be an accountant and bookkeeper and then you can become a Profit First professional, when in actual fact, 30% of our leads are specifically asking for help with business coaching and Profit First. And I just want to say you are absolutely in the right place if you have an established business and you really, really want to help your clients and that you want proven results for them and to get them moving and comfortable with their money. Who here feels that they tick this box? I'd love to know. All right, so let's get into some practicalities of it. I promised you that I'd talk about what it actually means to become a Profit First professional, so I'm going to do that now. And I'm going to talk to you about what the training entails and what it looks like. One of the things to note is that the training is not separate to becoming a Profit First professional. So it's not like you can go do the training and then you can become a Profit First professional. You become a Profit First professional and then you get certified in the Profit First methodology. And so what does it mean? It means that we train you in the Profit First methodology, and no, it's not just what's in the book. That is a very general, great starting point for people. But as we know, we're dealing with humans, we're dealing with different businesses, and I have been doing this for more than 8 years. So there's a lot that I've learned, plus the number of members that have also been working with businesses. You will learn how to conduct a Profit First assessment so that you can show a person exactly where they're at and where they can be, which is teachable and scalable. And it also allows you to implement it in your own business. So again, I just want to confirm that the certification is just the starting point. It is to allow you to feel confident and gain the tools that you need to easily roll out Profit First, to create that service offering within your business and to really help those. And so the first step of certification is to actually implement it in your own business. So we guide you to be as profitable as possible. We ensure that you are implementing Profit First in your business because we want people to walk the talk, not just know the theory. And the return on investment from this alone has been amazing for our Profit First professionals, from debt reduction to pricing support to speaking opportunities, and to allowing them to really speak authentically to their clients when it comes to the changes that they have seen personally. The second part of the certification and training is that you're required to implement this with 2 beta clients. So these are normally existing clients where you get to do a pilot run with them, with us by your side, to be able to complete the profit assessment, understand what their goals and challenges are, roll it out and help them to move forward in their business. Yes, it is paid. You do not have to do this for free when it comes to that, but it also allows you a safe place to be able to go, I have support, I am learning. And it is amazing how much confidence we see in our PFPs once they do that. And I will just say, tip, if you're thinking of doing this, go for the hardest business you possibly can first, because everything else feels easy after that. And then the third part is actually integrating it into your business, understanding how it fits. And so I've spoken to you about the different ways that you could be integrating it. We don't dictate to you how you should do it. You are your own business, you have your own clients, but we do support you to really understand, how can I do this easier in terms of service offerings? What makes the most sense? How can I help my clients to transform? And so we don't skip this step. It's very, very important that you spend time doing this so that you can just hit the ground running as soon as you're certified and offer this to people. And the good thing is that you don't have to come up with all of the tools and resources for it. There is an exam that you need to do, but by the time you get there, you don't have to stress. It is a 90% pass rate, and we haven't had anyone fail yet, because if you do the learning, you've got it. The other thing to know about becoming a Profit First professional is that it's actually teachable and scalable. So a myth that I want to bust immediately is that you have to do it all yourself. you don't have to, especially as a coach. You're in such a great position to be able to help people, from the group programs to the courses to doing the one-on-one, but having someone else do the nitty-gritty of assessments or working with another person within the community. The other thing that it does is that it differentiates you. So the amount of times that I hear a business coach is a business coach is a business coach, which I know is not true, but people out there think that you're all the same, and you're not. This allows for differentiation. All right, so I've spoken to you enough about what the training is and what it looks like. I want you to meet a PFP. So let's meet Katie. Is Katie. So Katie is the author of Profit First for Tradies. She is a Profit First coach and she's a mastery level PFP. And what she's so nicely done is shared her revenue splits. So Katie has 3 main ways that she helps her clients. The first being the Kickstart 12-week program. So this is an introduction to Profit First that she does over 12 weeks in a group format. And this is something that she put together after she became certified because she knew that it would help her tradies in a way that would fast track their Profit First implementation. She also has people come to her for Profit First assessments. So the profit assessments is what you're trained in and certified in as a way of us ensuring that you understand Profit First. But she has a number of people who are working with other coaches or consultants that just need some clarity around what their business is doing, what money they have available, so that they can go and implement the goals and dreams that they have with these other consultants. And so she will do Profit First assessments, and that, to her surprise, made up 27% of her revenue. And then the 26% is her 12-month program. So as you can see, and a lot of people assume that being a Profit First professional, if you're only concentrating on that it'll be a side thing, or how much can you actually earn from it? And interestingly enough, through having this conversation with Katie, 31% came from a 12-week program. The 27% came from profit assessments. The 26% came from the 12-month program, and only 16% came from other revenue, which I think is pretty cool. The other things that I wanted to let you know about Katie is that she does not work full-time in her business. She has had actually a lot of difficulties in her personal life when it comes to, family deaths and that sort of thing, and she still remained profitable. It's because she decided she didn't want to work with a lot of one-on-one clients, and so she does mainly work in the group coaching environment. The other thing is that everything she offers is extremely profitable because it costs her close to nothing to deliver it. And that if she does take on a one-on-one client, you're looking at around $16,500 for the year. The other opportunities that she is allowing me to share with you is that it allowed her to become the author of Profit First for Tradies. She delivers workshops to other business coaches that don't necessarily want to deal with the money side. She's received many opportunities to join podcast interviews. She has a Facebook group where people are constantly being added because they really want to know about how they can make money easy. And she has a podcast, which is having some really great impact on people. The other question that I get when it comes to becoming a Profit First professional is, okay, but what does it look like in terms of revenue growth? And so what we did is we actually surveyed our Profit First professionals, not just in Australia and New Zealand, but globally as well. And this is what we found. That in year 1, there was a 21% increase on average, but by year 5, 330%. And so a number of PFPs within Australia have actually doubled their income within 12 to 24 months and are working 40% less. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's meet Amy. So Amy's another coach and she does things a bit differently. And I want to talk to you about Amy and how she does things. So Amy does not work full-time in her business. She has another business as well, which is in a completely different industry. She was letting me know that she works about 10 to 15 hours per week on this business, and that 2 hours of that per week is showing up to her community and calls. and that she sells a Profit First she has a free Profit First masterclass that she did live for a number of months that then converts people into her course, her Profit First course. And what she has reported is that her monthly recurring revenue is now $17,000 to $20,000 per month based on a masterclass into the course. And that she changed her masterclass from a live version of it to an evergreen version that then converts into the course. And that if she were to spend more time in her business, that she could easily double this. And so I'm sharing this with you so that you can really see, one, how different people do different things, and also what sort of pricing they put on stuff. So talking about Amy for a second, just to give you more context, her evergreen conversion to the course is, without her doing anything, is 15%. And that when she does it live, it is very high, her conversion. Her ad spend on this, because obviously she uses a funnel where she uses ads to get people into the masterclass and the course, is $100 per day. So that's $5,200 per month with a monthly recurring revenue of $17,000 to $20,000. And she's working less than 20 hours a week. So there's a lot of opportunity here, and the way she does things may not be the way you do things, but we wanted to show you some examples. And so really what you can do at this point is go, this is cool. And you could potentially work with a Profit First professional if this is something that you feel isn't of interest, or if you're ready, then now's the time to become a Profit First professional. But before we jump into that, I'd love to tell you that we don't just accept anyone. What we're looking for are proactive members, people that really care about our mission of eradicating entrepreneurial poverty, that are collaborative, because we're not a competitive space, we're very much a collaborative space, willing to learn and share, are open-minded, actually want to be profitable, and want to work in a way that serves them and their clients. So this isn't a cookie cutter approach. It is very much, yes, learn the theory and methodology, but make it yours. And so there is an interview process that comes with potentially becoming a Profit First professional, and we'll go into that in a minute. So what I'm going to do is Michelle is going to put up a poll, and I'd love to know, can you see yourself as a Profit First professional? That should come up. I hope the answer is yes, which I see it can be, because it applies to everyone in any way, as long as you're clear on how you want to help your clients. And I can see that we've got 100% yes here. So thank you very much for that. All right, so what do you need to know? Certification usually takes about 3 to 6 months. We've had Profit First professionals do it faster, but it's required a lot of time and dedication to do that. The certification does include an exam with a 90% pass rate, and it does require you to implement it in your own business and with 2 beta clients. And the time each week that you'd need to dedicate to this is about 3 hours. That includes attending our weekly call and really spending a couple of hours doing this. So it's not a huge outlay of time, but you need to be aware of what it is. I'd also love you to meet the team. So at the moment, we have a really awesome team that have different roles in how they can support Profit First professionals. So what I'm going to do is introduce you to them.
Let's introduce you to the Profit First guides. Each of our guides is a powerhouse when it comes to Profit First. However, they all have their areas of expertise. So here is a little reminder so you can ask the best person regarding your query. Najma Khan. All technical aspects of Profit First, implementation, how and whys. She is your go-to. Aisha Daloon. She is the master of mindset, strategy, and accountability, just to name a few. If you are feeling a little overwhelmed, Aisha will help you achieve. Michelle Tolhurst, our resident marketing maven. Whether you need help with your website, socials, or your overall marketing strategy, Michelle is your girl.
So as you can see, it's not just about Profit First. We spend a lot of time to work with our Profit First professionals to help you be the best that you can be and do things in a way that really suits you. We also have group calls, and you have options to learn from other Profit First professionals. So one of the questions that we get asked is, okay, so what's the price? And I'm going to tell you. So certification and membership is all in one. It's not separate. And what we've recognized is that it is an annual commitment. And the first year, there's quite a lot that you need to commit to do. And there's normally a lot more support that you get in relation to becoming a Profit First professional. And we want to thank our members if they continue on each year. And so there is actually a reducing membership fee as you go. What this allows you to do is have one-on-one support as well as group support. You get access to all of the marketing resources, all of the Profit First resources and calculators. We literally have everything from workbooks to outlines for courses, to email sequences, to actually being able to share what Profit First is, not just in words, but visuals, videos, and we're forever adding to our resources. The other thing that is really important to note is that we do have an area within the certification and after you're certified around coaching skills, because I know a lot of people come into it feeling like they can coach, but when it comes to money, are they doing the right thing? And so we definitely have the support there as well. I'd love to share with you some feedback from one of our certified Profit First professionals.
We are absolutely thrilled with our experience with Profit First Australia. Their training and support have been nothing short of exceptional. From the moment we decided to partner with them, we knew we were in good hands. Their team has gone above and beyond to ensure that we receive top-notch training and support every step of the way. The training they provide is not just informative, but also incredibly practical. It has transformed the way we approach our financial management, and we've seen significant improvements in our profitability since implementing their strategies. What sets them apart is their unwavering commitment to their clients. They are always there to answer our questions, provide guidance, and offer valuable insights. Their level of dedication to our success is remarkable. Their exceptional service we've received from Profit First Australia has not only improved our financial health, but also given us peace of mind knowing that we have a trusted partner to rely on. If you're looking for a partner who can provide top-notch training, exceptional support, and a proven system to boost your profitability, Profit First Professionals Australia is the way to go. We wouldn't be happier with our decision to work with them, and we highly recommend their services to anyone seeking financial success. Thank you, Profit First Australia, for your outstanding service and dedication to our business's success.
Because it's one thing for me to talk about it, but I think it speaks volumes when our other Profit First professionals do. So there's two things that you can do at this point. If this is something that you're wanting to learn a bit more as to how it might fit into your business and you're not quite ready to become a Profit First professional, then I really invite you to book a Q&A call. This is where you can ask questions. There is no sales pitch. It really is ensuring that this is the next best step for you and that you're comfortable in making that. If you are ready to become a Profit First professional, then you can book an interview. So this interview is up to 30 minutes with one of myself or with one of the guides, and we will go through exactly how you can implement this in your business, whether or not it's a good fit for you, what return on investment could possibly be there, and whether or not this is the right next step for you. So if that's something that you want to do, please go ahead and book in that interview. Now, I want to be also, why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing this because Profit First really is the perfect addition to a coach's business. It's a game changer for you and your clients. And I wanted to show you exactly how easy it was to integrate it and what return on investment that you could get. So I've mentioned what the certification is, but I also want to talk to you about the other benefits. So we have global calls. We are part of a global community as well. We get to learn from each other. There are the one-on-one calls. We have a community in which we can ask questions and it's very active, and we've got great PFPs that help each other out. There are open office calls every single week where you can ask questions, or we go into a deeper dive into certain topics and areas around Profit First and business. We have events in person and online. We also have the directory for Profit First professionals so that business owners can easily find you. We provide support and education and certification, as well as the marketing side of things. So these are just some benefits. One of the biggest things people say is it's the community. And so let's hear from Emma.
I hadn't experienced a form of training or learning, from TAFE to coaching, where I have received this amount of support and knowledge. The value I get out of my membership is priceless. From the extensive online platform to weekly group calls, and the ability to book specialist calls with experts is outstanding. You also couldn't beat the community you get to be part of.
Okay, so let's answer some questions. I'd love to know if you have any questions. Feel free to pop them into the Q&A. I'm going to just bring that up my side as well so that I can answer them. I also had some questions that I received prior to this that I want to answer for you. And so one of the questions is, well, when does certification actually start? We are open twice in a year. So at the moment, we are open until the end of November for our members, and then we close again until March. So as soon as you are accepted as a member, you can get started in the certification, and you can go as fast or as slow as you want. Another question that I get is, well, if I'm not an accountant or a bookkeeper, how do I teach finances or money management? And as I said, being a coach is a pretty awesome thing. You don't need to be a bookkeeper or an accountant to be able to implement Profit First, because you are taught absolutely everything that you need to know to be able to do that for yourself and to be able to facilitate the conversations and the change. And we do it in a way that is if someone doesn't have any finance knowledge. So you don't have to be an accountant and a bookkeeper. And one of the interesting things is that we often get asked, well, aren't they always looking for an accountant or a bookkeeper? And while yes, people are looking for that, most of our PFPs that are accountants and bookkeepers are actually moving away from compliance and are just doing the Profit First coaching. So you're in a really great position. Now, I've got another question here that says, do you have many Profit First coaches? At the moment, 30% of our membership are coaches, and they are doing some really cool things. So there's definitely room to grow, but there's a good portion of you. Another one that we have got here is, does Profit First work with personal finances? And the answer is absolutely it does. And what you'll find is, if personal finances are not where they should be, it's going to affect the business. And so you often can look at it, at their personal finances using the Profit First methodologies. And another question here is, do you have to offer Profit First as a standalone coaching option? Absolutely not. If that's what you want to do, you absolutely can. If you don't want to, then you can integrate it, whether it be a module in something, a particular speaking thing or masterclass that you do. It really is up to you and how you can best integrate this in your business and help your clients. What if people think they just need an accountant or bookkeeper is another question that I have here. And this is actually a really, really great question. We are very collaborative. And so what we find is that a Profit First professional accountant, bookkeeper, and coach often collaborate together and do different functions. The coach will generally do the Profit First coaching, whereas the bookkeeper will likely do the behind the scenes stuff, the bookkeeping that's required, and the accountant helps with the overall strategy. And so there's actually a huge opportunity for working in a really holistic way with people. And it doesn't matter if you're an accountant or not, because there are other people within the community that can help fill gaps if that's something that you're coming across. And I can see here, are there ongoing learning requirements to remain certified? Great question. And I didn't think to talk to that. So thank you for that question. Yes, there are. The learning requirements are that you get recertified each year. And what that means is that you have to sit another exam, which is different to the one that you've done, as well as complete a dummy assessment. And what that is that we provide you with documentation and information. And what we want to know is how you would approach it, what questions you would ask, and what the assessment looks like, so that we can be sure that you completely understand and are comfortable with Profit First. And if there is a gap, then we can absolutely help you with that. The other thing is that you do need to remain active as well. As you know, things change and evolve over time. As we experience new things with businesses, we share that. As we notice that, potentially talking about something in a different way or approaching things differently, then we bring those to the open office calls and we update things. And so remaining active and at least attending a couple of times a month, if not weekly, will mean that the recertification is really easy. We try and make it as easy as possible. And it normally takes people around 2 hours each year to complete that exam and that assessment to get recertified. And it is really important because we want to ensure that businesses are in great hands. So that's a really great question. I really appreciate that. Are the calls in New Zealand time zone friendly? Yes, so we have New Zealand and Australian members, and we have alternating times. So it's either 11 a.m. Melbourne time, which is 1 p.m. New Zealand time, or we have a 2 p.m., which is 4 or 5 p.m. On alternating weeks, because we're also catering for Western Australia as well, which is the opposite end of the spectrum. And so we do make sure that we have our calls available. And if you're wanting a one-on-one call with a guide, then there's more time flexibility as well. And our New Zealanders are very happy with the timing. So again, great question. All right, any other questions from anyone that I may not have answered at this point in time? Feel free to pop that into the chat or the Q&A, and I'll be very happy to answer them. So again, if you're wanting to learn a little bit more about what being a Profit First professional could look like in your business and want to get some questions answered, feel free to book in a Q&A call. I see we've got another question here. How long has Profit First been operating in Australia? So Profit First has been operating in Australia since 2018. It was established in 2017, but has been in operation with members from 2018, so nearly 6 years. I have been a Profit First professional myself for nearly 9 years, and I remain a Profit First professional in my other businesses as well, so I share my insights too. Great question. If you're ready to become a Profit First professional, then please book in an interview. Here is the interview link and the QR code. We'll be really happy to see exactly how this could fit into your business. But otherwise, I want to thank you very much for being here with me today. I hope that I've answered all of the questions that you had. I've absolutely loved spending the time with you and loving the interaction. So have an amazing day, and I will catch you online soon. Thank you.